Hi everyone, Miranda here from Smart Mama, Smart Kids Parenting. Thank you for jumping on with me today. Welcome to my live for this week. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be sharing this straight into my Confident Authentic Mamas group, all right, as well. Anyway, today I'm on here to talk to you guys about how to help you help your child to flourish. Okay, now if I've heard of anything that, really makes people excited, it's about helping their kid be the person that they're meant to be. All right, first of all, what do I mean by flourish? What do I actually mean? All right, so we all know flourish means basically flower. Pretty much flourish means flower. I should look up the meaning, but basically, all right, it means basically to grow into the thing or person or, plant that it is supposed to be. Okay, so flourishing means that they're doing what they are meant to be doing. It does not mean that they are doing what you think they should be doing. All right. And I'm talking about careers and I'm talking about jobs and I'm talking about, not us wanting our kids to do a certain thing in their life. I'm talking about helping your child to shine and to flourish as the person that they were made to be. All right, so when I'm talking about flourish, all right, that's what I'm talking about. So how do we do that? How can I help you do that? How can you guys do that with your own children? Now, just before we keep on going, I release videos like this every single week. So don't forget, hit the bell, subscribe, and you'll receive a notification when another video comes up that's going to help you be the best parent that you can be to your small children. So I've got 3 tips here for you today. The first one is notice. Okay, so noticing what is going on with your kids, noticing what they're good at, noticing what they struggle with as well, and noticing their reactions is really, really important, because when you notice things, you actually can act on it, right? Before you notice it, you can't act on it. You can't help them. You can't even realize what's going on because you haven't noticed it yet. You haven't even looked for it yet. Okay, so being aware of what's going on with our children, being aware of what they like, what they don't like, how they react when they have to, not enough sleep and all those sorts of things, whether they're small or big. This goes for small or big kids, okay, and other people as well. If you're someone who trains adults or whatever it is, this is all the same sort of thing. So notice what's going on. Okay, is the very, very first one. And this is something that I've shared on quite a few of my videos, especially in my group that I mentioned before. It's all about observing and being aware of what is going on with your child. Okay, so many of us are aware that our child needs to have another dental visit, or we're aware that our kid might, is allergic to XYZ, or we're aware, that our kid really likes to have hugs and cuddles and in a certain order when they go to bed, for instance. Okay, they're the different things that we might be aware of, okay, but we need to be aware of more than that. Most of us are, all right, I'm not passing judgment here, but most of us are, but it's helpful to remember we need to be aware of how our child is reacting and what they actually are struggling with, because we can't help them be their best self if we're not actually working out where we can help them, yeah? Because they don't need help just to do better. They need help actually in the areas that they're struggling as well, obviously. The second thing on helping your child flourish, okay, so this is not a long video, okay, keep on listening. This is not a long video. The second thing is to ask. Okay, this is something that gets skipped a lot of the time, all right? But when you are talking about another person, regardless of whether they're your child, regardless of whether they're, your elderly auntie, it doesn't matter. You need to ask, or it's best to ask people before you just mow in and help them. Okay, excuse my amazing, phrases. Before you just race in and help somebody, it is really, really good to ask. If there's a space that they're struggling in, they might not want you just, sort of coming in and doing it for them. They might actually want to keep trying themselves, or they might actually want to, really have a go at something themselves. Like, that is really important. Okay, so asking someone and go, hey, can I help you with that? Or would you like some help with that? Or I can see that you're struggling a bit. Would you like some help with that again? Okay, asking someone's permission is awesome, because you're not steamrolling them, basically. The amount of adults that I have met, or kids, older kids, that I've met that go, I don't know how to do that because my mum does it every time. I'm like, really? Like, is that about putting your shoes on, or is that about, making your own sandwich? Like, do you literally not know how to do that a normal kid your age might know how to do, because someone else has come in, because you haven't done it fast enough, you haven't done it the way they thought, and those sorts of things, okay? People get steamrolled all the time by their parents and or other well-meaning, completely well-meaning adults who then take over, and the child doesn't get to have that learning. And you just like derailed them from a little bit of the learning in their life. And that it might sound a bit harsh, I don't know, but you don't want to go around and just do everything for everybody. Also, we want to be caring and loving and help our kids and all those things. Asking is the bridge between the two. All right, so asking their permission or asking them, if you can help is very important when it comes to helping your child to flourish, because it also does something else very important by showing them that you actually care. Showing them that you care, that they actually have the power. They have the power in this relationship to then say, oh, no, thanks, I want to give it another go. That is so empowering. Okay, that is super empowering for any adult, but also for a child. If they don't want to have another go, that's okay. You've just offered them gently, carefully, and lovingly an option for some help. That's great. But if they want to say no, they can, and you're not going to get shirty about it. You're not going to get annoyed. You're not going to go, well, you don't know what you're doing anyway, so I just need to do it for you. No, step back. Okay, there's obviously moments when we're in a hurry and we do it and we think, we could have done that better. That's okay. But by and large, if you can ask and actually heed their reply, it's very, very good at building responsibility. And as you build responsibility and independence and give that gift to your child, you are going to have less power struggles. All right, that's a whole nother discussion, but that's what you can do. So asking is very important. If you want to help your child flourish, asking them if they want help and then heeding their reply, so on top of things. Okay, so number 3. As I said, we're rolling through this pretty quick. I'm usually pretty quick with my videos, but so the third one is facilitate. Okay, so if you want to help your child be their best self, you want to help your child flourish, then what you can do is notice, yes, ask them if they want help, yes. If they don't want help, or if they're in a stage where you're like, you know what, you're actually nearly getting that, or I want to help you, but I don't want to actively do it for you or with you, what you can do is facilitate. So you can basically go, you know what, I know that you struggle with your shoes on the wrong way, okay, but you really love to put your shoes on. All right, so what I'm going to do is put one shoe next to your left foot, the left shoe there and your right shoe there, and then you're going to know where they are, okay, and that's going to help you succeed, and that's awesome. All right, you guys might know that I always use shoes as an example. I have no idea why it always comes to mind, but it does. Okay, another way you might facilitate your child is when I spoke last night at the Leopold Early Learning Centre via Zoom because we were in lockdown. One of the things we talked about was actually helping your child move out of a meltdown moment. So once they're starting to get to the point where they really need to be settling down a bit, actually facilitating the calm down activity. So going, you know what? I can't force you to be calming down. I can't force you to start doing drawing, was what we were talking about, to calm yourself down. But I can go and get the paper and I can go and get the pencils or whatever you have. And I can put them here and go, you know what? Whenever you're ready, this is here. Okay, because an angry child or a child who's trying to calm down has not got the brain space at that moment to go find the pencils. Hasn't got the brain space to go, oh my gosh, I can't find any paper. I've got to pull it out of the printer now and the printer won't work and mum's going to get angry about it. Kid doesn't need to think about that stuff in that moment, in this example. They just need you to facilitate it so that they can go get about the hard business of calming down. Okay, so facilitating what you can with your child, giving them a bit of a leg up without actually doing it for them, okay, is very important because it's helpful. It's really helpful, right? Because we don't want to do stuff for our kids all the time. And the things you're facilitating, as in getting out the pencils and stuff, when they're 4 or 3, is not going to be the same as what you're facilitating when they're 10. Like when they're 10, maybe you'll still get out the pencils for them. Awesome. If you can see they need that and that's helpful. But most of the time you can say, you know what, you need to just go get your stuff and sit down and draw. And they can do that. Okay? Most of the time that's what will happen. Sometimes maybe not. That's okay. But by and large, that's what's going to be happening. So you sort of ramp it up and they learn how to do it themselves as they go. Okay? Thanks, Katie. Hi. Yeah, I'm glad that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense to me, so I'm glad it's making sense to you. Yeah, that's basically what I've got to talk about today. So helping your child flourish is all about noticing, all right? Noticing what's going on with them, being aware. I sort of like to call it sort of back of your head awareness. So going, oh, yep, My kids are okay at this. I know what they're good at. I know what they're not good at. I know what they're improving at. You don't have to know everything, but it's helpful. And when the age group, the parents that I work with have got like kids from 8 years and down. Okay, so most of us are fairly aware of what our kids are doing in those situations, how they're going and how their reading is, and or how they're, whether they can put their shoes on. Again, that sort of stuff we usually know. So when I'm saying noticing, I mean know what's going on. Asking again, super empowering, super important, because you don't want to steamroll them, and heeding what they're actually saying. So if they say no, I don't want help, actually don't help them and say, cool, but I'm here if you need me. Because it's okay to say, no, I don't want help, and then go, actually, I really do. 2 minutes later or 10 seconds later and go, oh, I didn't want to say yes, but now I really do want help. That's what we want to be teaching our kids, that it's okay to ask again. And the third one, again, facilitate. So help them out the best you can, especially if they say no, help them out if you need to, help them out if you can. All right. If they're struggling, make it easier for them without necessarily doing the task for them. Okay. If they ask for help, oh my gosh, do it. But if they don't ask for help and you're thinking they're a bit struggly, they're struggling a bit, okay, just help them out. Just do some little things around them, or go, you know what, we're not going to get to school on time, or we're not going to get to kinder on time, or daycare, or wherever you're taking them. They're supposed to do. All right, I'm going to do all the other things, and they're just going to have to do the thing that they're trying really hard to do, learning to put their hair up. My 4-year-old's trying to put her hair up all the time. So, which is awesome, but that means, all right, I'm going to pack your bag, and I'm going to, make sure your shoes are together with your socks and whatever, because you're spending 5 minutes learning how to do a really hard task for a 4-year-old. So there you go. That's just an example as well. I hope you like this video today. I really loved speaking at the centre last night as well. Last but not least, I have got on the, what have I got? I've got 2 masterclasses coming up. If you haven't seen my messages and stuff about them, I've got one about overwhelm. If you want the overwhelm masterclass link, please just put the word overwhelm below, or me please, or something. The next one is next week I am running again a webinar that people really seem to love. It's 5 things about teenagers and emotions. Okay, so it's for parents of 2, 3 and 4-year-olds. All right, and people love it. So we're running it again, and yeah, it's going to be lots of fun. It's recorded. All of them are recorded, and I send them. If you have registered for the free, or you've paid for the Overwhelm Masterclass, you will regardless get the recording of it emailed to you, or a link to watch it. Anyway, I'm Miranda. I'll see you later. Bye.